Coming up on 5 Minute News. Florida bans vaccine mandates in defiance of federal law. 2 Iranian men charged with threatening US election voters. And deforestation in Amazon at highest level for 15 years. It's Friday, November 19. I'm Anthony Davis. Florida on Thursday banned schools and businesses from requiring vaccination against COVID-19 and set the stage for a possible withdrawal from the federal agency aimed at protecting workplace safety. Right-wing Republican Governor Ron DeSantis, widely believed to be planning a run for the U.S. presidency, signed the new laws in a community called Brandon, the same name used as a euphemism by the right in a chant against Democratic President Joe Biden. In a later announcement of the bill's signing on Twitter, DeSantis referred to the free state of Florida. Echoing anti-vaccine rhetoric, DeSantis repeated a misleading claim that vaccines do not protect against coronavirus infections and said natural immunities should qualify people to return to in-person work. The bills drew immediate condemnation from public health experts and Democratic leaders. Governor Gavin Newsom wrote on Twitter, "What could go wrong?" The bills were passed in a 3-day special session of the Republican-dominated Florida legislature, called by DeSantis with the goal of thwarting coronavirus vaccine mandates imposed by the federal government, as well as by private employers and school districts. Employers who refuse to allow the exemptions can be fined up to $50,000 per violation. The new laws also ban government entities from requiring vaccinations. School districts may not require vaccinations or ask teachers and students to wear masks. The laws also ban school districts from requiring otherwise healthy students who've been exposed to COVID-19 to quarantine before returning to class. Florida is among several conservative states suing the federal agency to stop it from enforcing the Biden administration's vaccine mandate. About 61,000 people have died from COVID-19 in Florida, the third most populous state in the U.S. 2 suspected Iranian computer hackers have been charged in a broad campaign of election interference aimed at intimidating American voters during last year's presidential race and undermining confidence that the results of the contest could be trusted. The activities, prosecutors say, exploited not only computer vulnerabilities but also existing social divisions to sow discord and confusion among voters. The Iranian cyber campaign included bogus emails that targeted Democratic and Republican voters with different messages, the distribution of a fabricated video that purported to show acts of election fraud, and an unsuccessful effort the day after the election to an American media company's network. The overall effort attracted publicity in the run-up to the November 2020 election, when law enforcement and intelligence officials held an unusual evening news conference to accuse Iran of orchestrating an email campaign aimed at intimidating Democratic voters in battleground states so that they would vote for Donald Trump. The indictment makes clear that even as much of the public concern about foreign interference in last year's election centered on Russian efforts to disparage Trump's challenger, Joe Biden, Iranian hackers were engaged in a wide-ranging influence campaign of their own. The defendants, described in the indictment as experienced hackers who worked as contractors for a cybersecurity firm, are not in custody and are believed to still be in Iran. The area deforested in Brazil's Amazon reached a 15-year high after a 22% jump from the prior year, according to official data published yesterday. The National Institute for Space Research's PRODES monitoring system showed the Brazilian Amazon lost 13,235 square kilometers of rainforest in the 12-month reference period from August 2020 to July 2021. That's the most since 2006. The 15-year high flies in the face of Jair Bolsonaro's government's recent attempts to shore up its environmental credibility having made overtures to the administration of US President Joe Biden, and moved forward its commitment to end illegal deforestation at the United Nations Climate Summit in Glasgow earlier this month. Before Bolsonaro's team began in January 2019, the Brazilian Amazon hadn't recorded a single year with more than 10,000 square kilometers of deforestation in over a decade. It is a shame, it is a crime, Marcio Astrini, Executive Secretary of the Climate Observatory, a network of environmental non-profit groups, said. We are seeing the Amazon rainforest being destroyed by a government which made environmental destruction its public policy. Bolsonaro took office with promises to develop the Amazon and dismissing global outcry about its destruction. His administration has defanged environmental authorities and backed legislative measures to loosen land protections, emboldening land grabbers. This week at a conference in the United Arab Emirates to attract investment, he told the crowd that attacks on Brazil for deforestation are unfair and that most of the Amazon remains pristine. You can subscribe to 5 Minute News on YouTube with your preferred podcast app. Ask your smart speaker or enable 5 Minute News as your Amazon Alexa flash briefing skill. Subscribe, rate and review online at 5minute.news. 5 Minute News is an Evergreen podcast covering politics, inequality, health and climate, delivering independent, unbiased and essential world news daily.